Hey, and welcome to my channel. I hope you've been enjoying my content. It's probably not as interesting that you thought, as much as you thought it will be, but oh well. So, I wanted to share with you today. I had a conversation with my mom's sister. So we call her Auntie. So Auntie, oh man, Auntie is quite a character compared to her sisters. Now, my mom is the second oldest of 12 children. And my mom is like pretty boring, guys. Like my mom's like so chilled. My mom is like church going, very calm. She used to be a nurse. Now she's been retired for like almost 10 years. My mom is like 76. I'm the youngest of three boys. So Auntie, like my mom's sister, she's always kind of been like a rebel. And why I'm saying that is, she's the sister that, like the girl of all the girls that my mom has as sisters. Auntie's the one who drinks. And when I say drinks, it doesn't mean she drinks to get drunk. It means it's the one when you get to her place and you open the fridge, there's alcohol. And it's not like champagne or like vodka, but there's always, and it's not beer, it's always like a cider or like a spritzer or a prosecco. So she's that aunt, that I just love so much. And she's also like very short tempered. So at the same time, like our auntie, guys, like she is one of those bitches that like she wants to sleep at her house. So even if like between our home and auntie's home is probably like 45 minutes away, right? And there's times where like auntie would be at our home and like we had like a function, and even if it's like 1 in the morning, she wants to sleep at her house. And we'd be like, no, but we've got room. We've got like there's room. Like you're not gonna share with anybody. She's like, listen, one thing about me, I'm sleeping at my house. Why would I build such a big house to not sleep there every night? Every night I want to sleep in my house. So, and auntie, she's very kind of rigid in her ways. She's very narrow, she's very tunnel vision. She doesn't, you know, so she's always kind of drank a certain cider. And in South Africa, they know, like South Africans know, she's always drank reds. Like who drinks reds? Who drinks reds in 2021? There's a certain cider in South Africa called reds. My auntie to this day drinks reds. Like she'll still, like I said, she'll still have like other little shenanigans in her fridge, like prosecco and shit. But that's just for the kids. But her poison child is reds, right? Now, concurrently to that, sorry, my vape fell. Concurrently to that, my aunt D, guys, hey, she still has those phones, those small phones that don't have a camera, they don't have. It's not a smartphone. Let me just summarize it, just so that I don't give like a long description. She doesn't have a smartphone, and she's like, no, smartphones are gonna they're for the young and hip and happening. I'm like, but your sister, who's my mom, who's older than you, has a smartphone. And my mom has lost her phone. There was a year, it was probably 2019. My mom lost her phone every 3 months. Every 90 days, I would try and call her, and then my brother would be like, oh, she just lost her phone. For various reasons. One could be, oh no, she left it on her, someone was driving her, and then it was on her lap, and then when she got out the car, it fell. Or it could be, oh no, she was waiting for her friend, and then her window was open, and then she was on the phone, and some guy grabbed it from her hand as she was talking to her friend, asking her, where are you? I'm outside. Or she had put it on top of the car, and then so that she can, I don't know what she was probably looking for the car keys in her bag. And then when she got into the car, she left. Like she's like that year, every 90 days, guys, every term, I had to buy my mom a new smartphone. So she'd just be like, my brother would be like, oh yeah, your mom lost the phone, please buy it for her. Guys, I just said in the beginning, It means in the beginning. In the beginning, I told you that I am the youngest of 3 boys. Yet the boys will say, your mom lost her phone, please buy her a new phone. But I did because, like, I'm the one who's abroad. I need to contact my mother. So what am I going to do? Obvious, I'm going to buy her a phone. We move. So back to Auntie. So Auntie, so this year was her 75th birthday. My mom's like 78, 79. And what did I say? Oh, is my mom say? But anyway, Auntie's younger than my mom. Like, don't quote my numbers. It's late. It's in the evening. So Auntie's like, so my brother says to me, you know, Auntie doesn't have a smartphone. Because my brother was living with Auntie because he found a job close to where Auntie lives, and then he was trying to look for accommodation, so that those first kind of 2 to 3 weeks he lived with Auntie. Auntie doesn't have a smartphone, so let's buy her. Let's meaning you. Like, I know my brother's conversations, guys. Like, when they say let's, it actually means you, as in this one must buy a phone for Auntie. So then I went to takealot.com. Those who know takealot.com, please sponsor me. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. So I went to takealot.com. I purchased like one of these Samsungs that were smart enough but not expensive, right? So I bought it for her. I sent it to my mom's address because my brother was actually gonna visit there that coming weekend. So let's say I bought it like on a Monday. My brother was gonna visit for that weekend to my mom's place the following weekend. So it arrived like on Thursday. So when he arrived, because he was gonna take it back to Auntie because he's living with her. So he opened it, like he searched just to check everything is okay, because there's this terms and conditions saying 7 days you must, if there's something wrong with the phone, you must call the call center so you return it. And then my brother's like, you know what? I want to take this phone prior to Auntie's birthday because what if there's something faulty and then, you know, we lose out on these terms and conditions? I was like, cool, take it. So my brother takes it, and then like the Saturday, Auntie calls me on her phone. She video calls me. She's like, yo, I'm so happy. Thank you for my gift. Such a beautiful gift. I didn't even realize smartphones are so easy to use. And, you know, I was like, Auntie, for somebody who I thought was so smart, you drink Reds, for goodness sake. You have Prosecco in your fridge, but you cannot operate a smartphone. Look at you. Get your life. Get your life. Huh? Look at you. And she's like, oh, no, it's so easy. And now, since she's had her phone, she video calls me all the time, guys. She's had this phone now for about a month. Video calls me. Like, sometimes I wake up because she's still not used to, like, the time difference between my country and this one. She just randomly, I'll wake up in the morning, I had like 17 missed video calls. Auntie. And then she messages me and she says, why don't you answer? Why don't you answer, my child? And every time I'm like, Auntie, there's a time difference. Like, some of us are sleeping when you're awake, child. Some of us are awake when you are sleeping. So get your life. And she doesn't hear it. She wants to call me when she wants to call me. So then Auntie, so then I talked to her now today, and I'm like, Auntie, like, let's be serious. This thing of you wanting to sleep at your house whenever there's a function needs to stop, because you're depriving yourself of going to Cape Town, traveling around the streets because you want to sleep in your house. Your sister, who's my mom, I've taken my mom pretty much everywhere. Like, my mom's passport or my mom's life is like on point, you know? And I've always wanted to take Auntie with us, but because of this policy of hers that she wants to sleep in her house, I thought by virtue of me getting her this phone, it will open her up to, you know, just traveling with us, you know? And, you know, Auntie doesn't have kids. Her husband passed away like almost a decade ago, so she's alone. And I said, you know, it would be so lovely that you can travel with your sister, because sometimes when I travel, I want to go out and do like my things, you know, go out and just see, like, what's popping. But I can't because my mom is there and I have to keep her company. But if Auntie's, and Auntie has like, una chankur, because like she has no kids, she has no husband, and she's just been working. So una chankura or auntie, yeah, but una chankur. So her chankura, she doesn't use it. She's like, oh, I just like knowing that I've got a chankura in my bank account. I'm like, when you die, we are going to chow it. We're going to chow it, your man. We're going to chow it. Why don't you spend that money? Go with us, travel, so you can see places in Sheba Sheba and Luka and Sia. You know what I mean? So now I'm convincing her today. I'm like, Auntie, please open your hearts out so that when I come back into the country next time, like we can like go like for a week somewhere, like whether it's like on safari, whether it's like whatever. Can you just come with us? Because you guys are getting older. Like this thing of being local. Because like if you insist on sleeping at your house every night means you cannot go further. Like your radius is very limited. Because if you travel 6 hours, that means you can't travel 6 hours back to sleep in your house. So your circumference is very limited where you can travel and attend functions and things like that. Please open your heart, Auntie. Please open your heart so that we can go on holiday. You can just appreciate the country you live in. You don't know anything about your country, let alone, she doesn't even have a passport, And I'm like, Auntie, it's embarrassing that you've got a changur, but you're not utilizing it to make yourself happy, like yourself. Like, I'm not saying when we go on holiday, you must sponsor the holiday. I'm saying, come with us. If you want to sponsor it, though, it'll be amazing. But Auntie, like, be present, come with us, like see like your own country, I'm not even expecting her to, like, I'm not even prepared to talk about a passport with her, although I would like to, but I just wanted to experience her own country and not be limited to the radius or the circumference. It's so saddening to me. Whereas her sister always come back and says, "Oh, my daughter took me to hey," and she just sits there and listen. She could be in those memories. She could have been there in all of those memories. But no, Auntie is like, I want to sleep in my house. Why? No, she must open herself up. So I don't know do you guys have the same aunts? Do you want to share? Because surely I'm not the only person who has like an aunt or an uncle or somebody who just doesn't want to travel. What have you done to convince them to be part of the traveling schedule? Please let me know. Thank you. Take care.